Hello, this is Miss Joan with At Home with Miss Joan. I know that most of you that know that I've just done two YouTube videos, and I'm one of these organized, do them in a certain way type person, but and I wanted to do some cooking maybe in the future and stuff like that, and I did a video on my kitchen, how I try to keep it organized so I can cook in it, and then I showed y'all my pantry and how we keep it stocked and stuff like that. And my mind wanted to just go ahead and roll into a freezer inventory and something else that keeps the kitchen and the food system moving forward. But when I thought about the time of the year that we're in, and it being tomorrow's Thanksgiving and then Friday, I don't know about y'all, but if the Christmas train seems to take off Friday with the what's it called, the Black Friday shopping and the Cyber Monday stuff and just all of the busy stuff. It seems like it's going to start Friday and it'll be non-stop through Christmas. And I thought, well, what could my third video be about for to help my viewers today? And my daughter and I were talking, and I always, the first thing is Christmas will be on my mind. I'll try to do my house probably the weekend. I'll try to get my home decorations going. But first thing I do usually is I review some of the notes I made for changes that I wanted to make from last year. And I don't know how it is with you, but do you ever get through with Christmas and you've just got that not totally fulfilled feeling about how things rolled with your Christmas last year? And so anyway, I try to analyze now, how was it last year? And usually every year it'll say, well, did we focus enough on what the true meaning of Christmas is? So I thought, well, before I publish any of my get organized, how to organize your Christmas decorations and time-saving tips for your holidays, I want to do what my heart is telling me to do, and that is to talk to us about it's almost a cliche where they say keep Christ in Christmas. But as true believers and Christians, we do put our faith at the top of the list, because we know that the Christmas is Jesus' birthday. And sometimes he gets whatever's left over of our time and whatever's left over of our money. He gets what we call the Christmas crumbs. So I thought today, why don't I talk to my viewers, if they're feeling, or maybe you're feeling like I was feeling, I want to make sure that I'm keeping the focus on Christmas. Now you won't find, on Jesus, on Christ, while I'm having all of these fun things that we do with our family and co-workers and everything. And we know that in our home, I thought, well, I'll just set up a table here and I'll share with my viewers some of the things that we do or have done when our daughter was little, things that we do now, and just ideas that some of you, it may help you, because we talked about this channel. I don't want y'all to say, well, I watched Miss Joan, she's got pretty decorations, I saw that she's got a pretty kitchen. No, that's not what this channel's about. It's about how can I help you. Because I want to help young mothers, I want to help young single people, I want to help anyone that needs some encouragement or some time-saving tips or anything that I can do to help you. I want to pass that on to you. So I feel like for us to start with looking at the holidays, and let's just talk about how to keep our faith at the top of the list this Christmas. And I'll just move around here just a little bit and tell you just from my head some of the things we do. And when I get my coffee table in the living room decorated, what I call decorated, set up, it'll be what I call the Advent wreath. Well, it is the Advent wreath. It'll be on my coffee table. And then, I don't know, some of you may have been having an Advent wreath for years, and some of you may, this idea may be new to you. But Advent means coming. So we are anticipating the coming of the King. And so what you do is I'll just show you here. I set out 4 candles, and it starts the 4 Sundays before Christmas. And you can tell from this, girls, that I need to get some new candles this year or trim them down a little bit. But anyway, the main thing is that our family is taking time to pause and worship the Lord and just reflect on the true meaning of Christmas and be celebrating his birthday and looking forward to the celebration of his birthday. And so on week 1, and if you look at the calendar for this year, that's this Sunday. So that was another like confirmation. Well, I need to go ahead and do this first before I start all my home decoration videos. But anyway, on the first Sunday, the fourth Sunday before Christmas, you light the first, and then the third, you light the second, you get it the second, and then the Sunday before Christmas, you light the red one. And then on Christmas Day, you light the white one, which represents Christ's true birthday, or you could light it on Christmas Eve. That's why this one is a different color. It represents the purity of Christ. And so mine's just simple. It's sitting on one of my big cake plates, and it's just some Dollar Tree candles and a wreath that I've had forever. You could go outside and make a wreath with the kids or whatever. But this is something that we do, and you say, well, I can't do it every Sunday, Miss Joan. We go to church, we do this and that. I know that. Well, how about the 4 Mondays or the Tuesdays? Whatever. You say, well, my kids aren't with me on certain days. Well, you work it out for your family if this is something you want to do. But anyway, we have used different scriptures that we read when we light the candle. We might sing a Christmas song. You might let a child sing a Christmas song. Just something for you to pause. This is once a week, the 4 weeks before Christmas, and just pause. And you say, well, I don't have a lot of people with me. This is something you can do for yourself. Just set up the candles and light them just between you and the Lord, and just have a wonderful worship service, just you and him. And okay, I'm going to move on now to something that I've always loved doing. We did this with our daughter when she was small, and I just took a little piece of ribbon, cut it off, pointed it at the end, nothing that fancy, and wrote the numbers 1 through 25. So on December the 1st, it's down here and all the way up to Christmas Day. And what I do is I take Jesus out of the manger and I bring him down here, and on December, I know my table's not big enough, December the 1st, which is coming up real soon, and we put him there. And then you've seen all these calendars where countdown to Christmas. Well, this is just a faith-based, homemade version of countdown to Christmas. And something that you could work into this if you wanted to is, it's so unique, as the book of Luke has 24 chapters. So on December the 1st, when you put the baby here, you could read Luke 1. And then all the way through on the 15th day of the month, you can see 15 days, then you can read Luke 15. Well, you get up to 24 and you say, well, Miss Joan, we have read the whole book of Luke during Christmas. How many of you have ever done that before? One chapter a day helps you and your family become closer together, or you can do it alone. You can even do this leading up to Christmas, little wreath all by yourself. But if you read all these 24 chapters, here's what you're going to learn. That you won't just read about him being a baby, but you'll read about him growing, teaching, dying for our sins, and rising out of the grave. So Luke tells his whole life right there in those 24 days. And that'd be a wonderful thing, because I was guilty, we're all guilty of keeping Jesus as a baby and not teaching our children and our family that remember him as he is now. I thought, well, I had a birthday this year, and I'll tell you, I turned 66. And we celebrated it, but we didn't celebrate me as a little baby. We celebrated me. We remembered when I was born, but we celebrated me who I am now. And let's remember to celebrate Jesus who he is now. He is our soon coming King. And you say, well, what do we read on day 25, Miss Joan? Well, you can go back and read Luke 2. That's the Christmas story that a lot of us do read that on the Christmas day. However you choose to do it. But that's just a little tip that I wanted to share with y'all about just a little something, and I like to share something that you can take away from these classes. And this one won't cost you a lot of money or anything. It's just some ribbon and markers. And Anyway, another thing is people will be mailing you Christmas cards, and you just, okay, cute, and then what do you do with them? Hang them up a little bit and throw them away. Well, or save them. But anyway, for, oh gosh, many, many years, we put our Christmas cards in a basket. And we draw one out every day. Preacher and I, we have prayer together, and we draw one of these cards out, and we say, oh, well, we're going to pray for our friend Ruby today. And we'll pray for her, and then we'll drop her a note. It might be, I've got a little postcard that I can mail, or she's one of my friends. On Facebook or Messenger, I'll send her a little message just to encourage her and let her know that she's been in our prayers today. And I cannot tell you how many times people has told us, oh, you'll never know, Miss Joan, I'm facing a surgery, or this traumatic thing's happened in my life. I'm just amazed at the certain day that y'all prayed for us. It's amazing how that works out. And that's something that you could try. Keep your Christmas cards around longer. And a lot of them have Christmas messages in them, and you can read those again to the children or to each other. And everything that I'm saying is something you can do as a family, but you can also do it all alone. Because you say, well, I'm all alone, Miss Joan. All of these, the Advent wreath with the candles. You can have the anticipation of Jesus' birth, and pray over your Christmas cards. And I set this here to remind me how much we enjoyed when you have little kids around, having a birthday cake for Jesus. And you can have a birthday cake for Jesus as an adult too. Celebrate his birthday. Keep it. The kids love this. They do. Now, they love a birthday party. They don't care who it's for. But then you got this chance to talk to them about the Lord and what he done for us. And that is his birthday is the reason we're getting to do all this extra celebrating that we're doing. He's the reason we're giving all the gifts to one another. What a gift he gave to us. I could go on and on about that, but I'm just giving you little ideas and tips. And another thing you can do is involve your children or your family in your church Christmas programs. Right now, I'm sure if you have a church or you're looking for a church, that they're gearing up something for Christmas. You can be sure, because it's a big thing to celebrate the birth of Christ. So involve your children. You pitch in and help. And you'll say it would take a lot of the stress and just bring a lot more joy into your life if you're participating in something like this. And then I know some of you probably adopt a family and don't just give the gifts, but you actually take them and give them to the family. There's all things you can do to reach out to others and keep the focus on giving, but we're giving because it's Jesus' birthday and he's our soon coming King. Now, why did I set a timer right here? Well, I'll tell you. It was to remind me of something. Well, Miss Joan, I'm working a job. I'm running here and there. We're taking ball practice and everything that's going on. Sometimes you can just set a timer and say, well, we may not can spend an hour on this. We spend 5 minutes. Get alone, get quiet, everybody quieten down, sing a song for Jesus' birthday, talk about the 4 weeks leading up. We can do this. We can take 5 minutes. You can take 5 minutes. You can take an hour. The point is we need to take time during this busy, and to me it's kicking off Friday, but to you, it may have already kicked off because people are starting their Christmas festivities and decorating earlier and earlier. But the thing is for us to have some time worshiping and praising Jesus. Now, you may say, well, Miss Joan, I bet you being married to a minister and all, why your Christmas is just perfect and you don't know what I'm facing and how it is with our family. Oh my goodness, we all have that. I'm going to refer to something that I know that you've all seen, that Christmas Vacation, what is that called, a movie that comes on that people watch, and that Cousin Eddie and Aunt so-and-so and Uncle so-and-so, we've all got them. And I know that we deal with them all year in our family and how they are, but it does seem like Christmas kind of makes it explode or doubles, doesn't it? The stress that we face dealing with the people that we love them, we're related to them, they're in our life, but it seems like sometimes when you get us all pulled up together that we can get on one another's nerves. And so want to talk to you about some people that all of us have in our families. And I as you can tell, I love a visual, but here is one of my, what I call family members. So we've all got them like that. And this crazy, what I call this crazy redhead here. We all got crazy relatives. Now come on, you know you do. And they're just out there. I mean, you can't help how they act, and they're going to show up, and oh my goodness. But you're going to say, yes, Miss Joan, I identify. We got one. And then some of you may be thinking, I'm listening to you, but we don't have any crazy relatives in our family. Well, have you ever heard that saying? If there's no crazy relatives in your family, then the crazy relative is you. I'm going to stop on that one right there. But we all might need to think about that doll. Okay, and then, I picked out this one right here, and she just missed perfect with that curvy figure. And we all got those relatives that we're going to be around, or co-workers or whatever, that just missed perfect, that's coming to our house for Christmas. And you know her, we've all got her too. She's got the curvy figure. She's given birth to 5 children, natural birth, and she shrunk back down into her 0 genes in just a matter of days. I mean, we can look at her and say, she makes me feel fatter, she makes me feel insecure. We can project all of our feelings on her, and we shouldn't be really doing that. We should be loving her and participating in the family with her, but we do that. We all have the Miss Perfect person that's in our family that we have to deal with. And then this little doll right here. Now, I know, it's like, well, Miss Joan, could you not have fixed her hair or something? It's just out there every which way. And this doll, I'm going to let her represent the grieving. We all got people in our families or in our circle of friends that are grieving. And you think, well, I'd like to fix her hair, and I'd like to help her here, and I'd like to help her there. No, you don't need to do stuff like that. You need to love her. You need to think, well, how can I have more compassion for her? Because she's really grieving this year. She may be grieving. She don't feel like dressing up to come to your house for Christmas, but she showed up. And there's some of them that, they just showing up. But you know what? We need to love them. Ever what they look like, ever what they've got on, we need to love them. And on the grieving, this person may be grieving because they can't go home for the holidays, back to their people. They're with their spouse's people, or people they'd rather be with someone else on Christmas, but it's too far away and too expensive. They're just grieving in a lot of ways. And then there's people who are grieving because they lost someone this year, and they are going through the hardest year of their life. So we don't need to be judging them. We need to be helping them and reaching out to them. And one thing I know from losing people in my family, mention the name of the deceased loved one. They want to hear it. You're thinking, I can't mention that because it's going to make them cry and get them even more upset. No, it may tear them up a little bit, but it's tugging on their heart because they got that sweet memory. They got those memories, and they feel like their loved one's been forgotten. And it just does you good to maybe pull them aside and just talk to them about what a wonderful person their loved one was. And then I go to weddings, and particularly weddings, they'll have a memory table set up, and it's so pretty. They'll have candles maybe burning and pictures of the loved ones that didn't get to come to the big event, to the wedding, but they'll say something like, these are here in their spirit and in our hearts. Well, at the holidays, we're thinking about those loved ones that can't be around our table this year, or who can't be with us, but we can set out their picture. We can set up a table of memory. I did this last Thanksgiving for the Pollard family. I made a big collage of pictures to our loved ones that had gone on, Ricky's mother and daddy, and we had a little baby that was born deceased in our family, and we had just all kind of little memories set up because they tug at our hearts all year, and they particularly tug at our hearts at Christmas. So let's try to reach out and help someone along those lines. And then here we go. We finally got this doll in here, and I got a boy doll in here this time, and it reminded me of that little saying I had written down. Women have many faults. Men have only two. Everything they say and everything they do. All right. Chuckle, chuckle. All right. But this little doll is going to represent people who hurt you. Oh, it could be your in-laws have hurt you, and here we are facing the holidays, and we all have outlaws in our family, and things that don't do things that we don't approve of, and your grandparents may have hurt you or let you down in some way, or you may have experienced divorce. You're having to share the children and custody, and this could represent your ex-spouse. They could have really, really deeply hurt you, and it could be your boss or a co-worker, and we got those people that just hurts you in little ways. That's not deep hurt, like I remember a little way that I had a relative that every time we went to eat, he would tell me how fat I am, and of course that is it did hurt. It hurt me, but I'd laugh and carry on like it didn't bother me, but it did. But that's not what a deep hurt is. Somebody who's wounded you, who's really hurt you and changed really who you are. Seems like they've wrote on your heart. But my husband kept telling me, Joan, you can't change people. The only person that you can change is you. And just for my little Christmas family annoyance person, I started kind of having compassion toward them, and feeling like, well, I'm going to start up a conversation with them. And because really the person who's throwing stabs at you and trying to hurt you, they're actually hurting really bad or dying on the inside, and it makes them feel superior for just a little bit to make you feel less than. Think about that for a little bit. So I did. I started even making this person's favorite food dish and just trying to be extra nice. And I learned through that to let difficult people teach you something to be a better person. And I had this wrote down. What if their faults is God's tool to sharpen you, to design to change you, to change me, to constitute God's plan to teach me something new? I've always thought everything that happens is to teach. It teaches us something if we will allow it to. And I know that my little example wasn't bad. I've been deeply hurt before. I know the difference in somebody making a little comment about what you weigh or what size you are, whatever, your hair's not the right color or whatever. But I know what deep hurt is too. And I know that I'm speaking to a lot of people that knows what deep hurt is. Deep, deep pain. You've been betrayed. You thought they was your friend and they weren't. You learned that they weren't, and it deeply hurts you. Well, the Bible says in Hebrews 12:15, take heed, listen, that no root of bitterness take hold on you. In fact, there's a place where it even can destroy our bones, bitterness can. But it's like this heavy load is on us, and we're taking it with us all year. And you may have been carrying bitterness with you all year, and it's like, well, I've got this, and I wrestled with whether or not to use it or not. This person here that I'm going to put on my back, try to anyway. I don't mean to be comical. I'm trying to prove a point in the fact that whoever that we're bitter against, it's like they're hanging around your back and going with you everywhere you go. Whatever you're doing, whether you're praying, trying to pray, planning, budgeting, shopping, cooking, decorating at the holidays, they're there. And maybe you've carried this person around for years. You've carried them through many holidays and different things. It's time to let that go. You can't sit without they're with you. You're carrying them. They're weighing you down. And the person who is hurting the most is you. It's tearing your body down. It's tearing your life down. It's ripping your heart apart. We can let that go by praying and just turning it over to the Lord and just choosing to forgive them day by day. Because it'll flash back at you. But we can say a prayer, trust God that He's going to help you through it. And we can let that go. And we can live without that heaviness of hate and bitterness. And that's what I thought. Well, I want to encourage the ladies today, or the people who's listening to me, to don't be angry with everyone because of someone. Have you ever been like that? Like you're spewing, I'll be fussing with the preacher, I'll be fussing about this or that, when really it's totally something else that's bothering me, that's hanging on my back and my weighing me down, and I'm taking it out on other people. So I read that one more time. Don't be angry with everyone because of someone. We need to let that go. We need to let that go and let God fill up what we need in our hearts to forgive them. The best gift that you can give your family this year is to not be stressed, to be yourself and give of yourself. I got one more doll. I was about to forget about it. This little baby doll. I know we talked a lot about doing things with our children and keeping a faith focus for this Christmas. But we need to remember this baby doll, as it represents the children are watching. They're watching. They're learning how you forgive someone, how you maybe deal with their dad now that you're not married to anymore, or your wife now that your ex-wife that you're not married to anymore. They're watching how you handle difficulty, and that's the only way that they're learning on how to handle difficult people in their lives and in their future. So let's remember, we want to keep the focus on Christ this Christmas. We know we got to deal with all these difficult things in our life and people, but the children are watching. Well, in mine and preacher's life, he's watching me, I'm watching. Other people are watching how we respond. And we want to respond with kindness and with love. And I wanted to just talk to you about this today. Now, I'm going to roll into this weekend posting some of the more, I guess, organized tips and all that. I think I told you earlier when we started off. But I thought, well, with the hustle and bustle of Christmas coming in a couple of days, I want to talk to my YouTubers about keeping the focus where you want it to be. You decide where you need the focus to be this Christmas. And then in January, when you reassess the kind of Christmas that you had this year, maybe you won't have that hole in your heart. Well, we did everything else but remember Jesus. All right. I'm going to try to post this today or soon. And then this weekend, be looking for when I start taking my fall decorations down and putting out my Christmas. But I love all y'all, and I just want to be a help to somebody.